Subsequent months, I actually want to touch on topics that feels really, really dear to me, and that is the journey of being a single mother. And I actually want to talk about defining yourself as a single mother. That is because single mother is not a woman who has failed, not a woman who has gotten it all wrong. Single motherhood is not a woman that is allowing a circumstance to be the whole definition of a story. That is because a lot of people, a lot of misconceptions are actually about being a single mother. Either she failed in marriage, she must have a problem, she's not responsible, she's desperate to have a better life outside her marriage, or she should not be pitied, she should be pitied, she should be this, she should no, she's a threat to another married woman and the likes of them. But at this stage of my life, I figure that single mothers are actually courageous because the moment you decide to step out of a relationship that is not adding to your growth and that of your children, it indicates that you are actually taking a leap of faith and you're stepping into the unknown that most people are actually afraid to step into. And I figured that being a single mother myself, it takes a lot of emotional resilience to be able to nurture children in your own skin, with your own understanding, with your own conviction. Single mothers are actually emotionally strong. They are just the strongest woman I've ever known because they have decided to build a life that is meant for two people on their own, and most of them are actually successful doing this. Single mothers carry double responsibilities. There is nothing you can tell me. It is the world of two people and even more to nurture children. And when she decides to step up for her children, it's double, triple, compound responsibility. And at the same time, single mother rise again after pain, especially for those that have transforming stories just like myself, which I have been able to get clarity and understanding about my life. I figure that being a single mother, it gives you opportunity to choose if you want to keep treading in that path or you want to thrive again or you want to rise again to become a better version of you. And at the same time, they become an anchor for their children to create a better life. When you become better version of yourself as a single mom, your children are just going to be seeing you. They are not just going to be seeing you as legacy, but they see you as hope. They see you as faith. They see you as an anchor that would help them actually become better. And for children that actually have the empathy, they begin to see single mothers or their mothers as somebody that has actually laid the foundation for them to begin to build on. So sometimes is that when you become a single mother, there are so many identity crises that come after. And that is asking yourself a lot of endless questions. Who am I now? What kind of life am I living now? What is left for me? And what kind of future can I build? How do I balance myself? How do I take care of my children? How do I cater for their responsibilities? And these questions are coming because you don't just lose your marriage, you are losing a part of you. You are losing your identity. You are losing your confidence. You are losing your dreams. You are losing your self esteem and you're also losing your sense of direction because what you thought is actually already arranged. What you thought is already on the way. What you thought has already been you know, being mapped out with direction, the whole of that is crumbling right in your presence. And it's almost as if you don't really have anything to do about it. But one thing I want you to understand is that you definitely have a whole lot to do about it. And there are so many things you can do about your situation. And the whole of that starts by defining the new you. On my Telegram channel, I posted a video or in the monthly session on my Telegram channel for March. There is actually a session I have brought there, which is defining the new you. You need to understand that the world itself is a scary place to be, and the world will continue to happen with or without your consent. And what you can actually do for yourself is to give yourself a new definition to your life, the kind of life you are living, the kind of future you want to have, and how you can begin to navigate your path. So the same concept is what I'm going to be talking about here. And if you're interested in watching that session, my Telegram community is actually free. And I'm going to be linking the link to the Telegram community in the description box for you to actually watch. So, how you can actually start to answer most of the questions you are having to become better is by defining the new self. And those are the four layers of reinvention every single mother needs to work in, which I have worked in and has actually helped me. The whole of these layers of reinvention is actually how you can begin to gain your anchor, because when it comes to anchor, it is more like a shield, a kind of containment that keeps you in check and gives you that comfort, that home that you have things under control. And I've actually divided the whole of this into four main layers. The first thing you need to do to define your new self is for you to actually build your emotional reinvention. And I can't overemphasize on emotion, because you need to keep rebuilding your emotional foundation, because that is the foundation. That is where every other thing begins to thrive from. Before you step into any decision again, before you even take up the decision from the people that would advise you to get married again, or put your children in somebody else's custody, or travel out of the country, or take up the new job, you need to allow yourself to feel what is going on. You need to acknowledge the pain without shame. You need to accept that healing is not weakness. You need to learn emotional boundaries, and you also need to let go of guilt. You need to understand that the all of these things that is happening, fine, you might have been in control for a while, but whatever is happening to you now, you are not in control of it. So you have to surrender to what you are feeling and acknowledge the fact that this is where you are. Acknowledge the fact that this is not the time to start guilting yourself. This is not the time to start faulting yourself, because we are success solution oriented. We are looking for how we can get ourselves back on track. We're looking for how we can define ourselves again so we can try to become someone better. Not someone better to go back to where we are coming from, but someone better to be able to look ahead, to look over and beyond to where we are actually going. And the second reinvention you need to do is mental reinvention. Your mind must be renewed. I am alone, I am capable, is what you need to keep telling yourself now. I am alone, fine, yeah, you might be, but alone you are capable to do things. So you need to rewire your brain to make you understand that you can do this, or else you won't be able to do it, or else you won't be able to achieve everything. You need to start shifting your thoughts from I have failed to I am starting again. I have a whole transformation training on get your life on track. It is how I'm able to rebuild my life again. And I'm also working on writing the book Starting Over. Starting over for general women and the single motherhood for single mothers. So it is more like you are beginning again, you are bringing up the whole of the concept to create a new pattern, because if you don't rewire your mind, you won't get anywhere. Your children will suffer, people might say, but my children would definitely grow with strength. I remember then they would tell me, you can't give them a good life, you can't give them a better life. But I keep telling myself, I am building a legacy for my children. And people will even say, you are not enough. But I will keep telling them, I am becoming enough. And because I am becoming enough, I am bound to do a lot of things if I just allow myself to go through the whole thing. And the third reinvention is spiritual reinvention. You need to understand that spirituality is one of the anchors you cannot do without as a single mother. That divine being that created you to this world, you need to seek his consent. You need to seek his guidance. You need to seek his protection. You need to seek his wisdom. You need to seek for every single thing you can never ask for from him, because at this point it is a lonely journey. And because it is a lonely journey, one of the greatest anchor and gift you can ever give to yourself is to go to the divine being and ask for whatever you need. It is not a season of punishment. It is a calling, a rebirth, and a divine reinvention. It is a divine redirection for you to actually better one. Because at this time of your life, you're going to be learning patience, you're going to be learning trust, you're going to be learning courage, you're going to be learning discipline, you're going to be learning inner peace, you're going to be learning self reliance. A lot of things are actually bound for you to be learned at this point. But where you can actually start from is to anchor yourself with God, with the supernatural being, to meditate on purpose, to give yourself that reconnection that you are grounded and connected to the higher self. And the fourth thing is the lifestyle reinvention. You see, every single life you think you know before will definitely begin to change. I swear to God Almighty, every single thing will change. Your routine, your goals, your boundaries, your career ambition, your financial decision, your support system, they would change. They would shift. In fact, you would realize that maybe the career you are even pursuing might not have even be the best for you. You might even realize that the kind of home you would have actually preferred to live is not where you are living. You might even figure that the kind of education you are giving your children is what you would have actually wanted. You even realize that the kind of money you think you need is you think you have is not even what you need. You even realize that the people you are mingling with, communicating with, are not even the people that should be in your circle. When you wake up in the morning, what you do in the afternoon when you get home, when you sleep at night, every single aspect of your life will change. And even if they are not changing entirely, most of them are going to be readjusted and rearranged. So you need to now keep the pace and study the whole of the pattern because this is a new journey entirely. So reinvention is not about becoming self, it is about becoming the highest version of who you already are because every aspect of your life now is going to be as sensitive as possible. So now, if you have been able to walk through these 4 layers of reinvention, how do you actually begin to practice the whole of this, the emotional reinvention, the mental reinvention, the spiritual reinvention, and the lifestyle reinvention? Number one is to heal before you rebuild, and that is actually coming under emotional reinvention. Write your pain, have serious conversations with yourself, make yourself understand that this is where you are. You can talk to a coach, accept your wounds, your mistakes, where you understand that yes, this is my fault, or where you don't even acknowledge that this is my fault. Being a single mom requires you having serious conversations with yourself because you don't want to build a life on a shady or a shabby foundation. Acknowledging the truth will enable you to heal before you even begin to rebuild at all. And secondly, you need to redefine your standards. Defining your standards, you need to start setting new standards for your relationship, for your friendship, for your self care, and also for your boundaries because we are building the life that we want to nurture our children in. Your children are going to be your legacy now, so anything you do directly affects them. Now, imagine if you don't renew or recheck or redefine your relationship, you don't recheck your friendship. Imagine the kind of effect it's going to be having on them. And thirdly, you need to create a life vision. Ask yourself now, apart from the fact that you're a mother, you've been somebody else's husband before, what do you want to become? This is not based on somebody else's notion or somebody else's validation. This is based on your own inner conviction that you want to be better and you can do better. What kind of mother do you want to be? Maybe you've been told that you can't be better, you can't do better. The life you are looking for is not even within your power. But now the whole of that is out of the way. What kind of woman do you want to be? And what future do you actually want for your children? That is where most of the problem comes in. Because I mention, and I do say to every single mother, once you begin is to become a single mother, the life you are building directly connects to your children. So if you're not choosing carefully, you're going to be affecting the future of these children. And now you need to build confidence through small wins. It's going to be so scary. It's going to be so challenging financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, in fact, emotionally, whichever hurling you want to add at the end, It is going to be so serious, but you just have to do it gently, gradually. Maybe you're setting some weekly goals, or you have some small achievements, or you're able to walk through some daily routines. All of these help you believe in yourself. And by the time you are able to work on this notion, realize that you can actually do better. And also, do not forget that you really need to embrace support. As much as it is a lonely journey, nobody is actually coming to help you. At the same time, you will be surprised that there are still some people that are willing to help you in your family, in your friends, other mothers, or your community that you find yourself in, maybe on YouTube and the like something. And don't be fooled when people you feel are supporting you eventually walk out of your life. That is because not everybody is actually bound to go through this journey from the beginning to the end with you. Some will eventually get tired, some will get bored, some might not even have a reason, but not just like the way you are moving anymore. Some will even feel disappointed for you. But at the same time, from these people, you are still going to be finding your circle again. And lastly, step into your new identity. Keep telling to yourself that you're not broken, you are just becoming. Keep telling yourself that you are not alone, you are guided, and keep telling yourself that you are not ashamed, you are actually rising. And that is because the narration you give to yourself once you become a single mother is going to be the driving force that will get you to where you actually need to be. And one thing about life is that sometimes, or most times, for us to be in a good place, we need to have a taste of what it actually means to be in a bad place. And nothing will change in your life if you don't change anything. Your situation will remain the same if you keep holding on to the things that does not add to your growth. In my next video, I'm going to be walking you through how you can actually overcome social stigma as a single mother. And the next month, which is April, the videos are actually for single mothers like you and I, how you can actually transform your story. And I am going to be pouring out my mind, my heart on how I'm able to rewrite my story from just being a single mother based on somebody else's notion to holding on to my own definition of what single mother is actually like for me. And I can tell that being a single mother is one of the decisions I can always call the foundation of my transformation story. And on my Telegram channel, you can as well watch the video on where I talked about defining the new you as a woman and how you can begin to answer some life changing questions to become a better version of yourself. The link is in the description box below, and I'm going to be seeing you in my next one. Bye.